Our consulting editor, Boria Majumdar, in fact, caught up with Sourav Ganguly on India's stunning 130-run win over South Africa in Melbourne. Here's what they had to say.
The one man who had predicted India will win against South Africa is now with me. In that face-off against Sean Pollock, in the many shows on headlines today and Aaj Tak, Sourav Ganguly each time said, India start favourites, India will win. What made you say that?
I think it's the way South Africa's composition was and what I saw against Pakistan. I thought I didn't just see the runs, I just saw the quality of the way India played against Pakistan, and that made me feel that this is suddenly starting to look a good side, and I'm surprised with that quick changeover in just a week. South Africa, I thought, were too top heavy, and with Panel at 7, if they would have lost the toss, it would have been hard work for them, and I'm not surprised to see that.
The one man you still had doubts over, Shikhar Dhawan, even after that Pakistan innings, you said one needs to wait and see a bit more. Now you're confident?
Yeah, absolutely, because on this pitch, it's a different pitch. Adelaide is a flat pelter, and Shikhar Dhawan, if you see during those last 2 months, struggled on pitches which had a bit of bounce, but today he was amazing. And I actually asked him after the game, I was asked to speak to him, and I asked him that what change did you make? And because if you look right through the tour of England and even in the test matches, he was playing on the side of the ball and the bat was too far away from the body. He said he made a conscious change of his head getting over on top of the ball, and you could see it, how many cover drives he hit straight. And in the test matches and in the tri-series, he was just playing square of the wicket down to third man, which is an indication that you're not behind. I think his coming back to form is a great sign for India, because you're not just dependent on Kohli now. You know, there are other players who can win you, and Shikhar Dhawan, when he scores, he's a match winner. So I think these are good signs for India.
Ward and Ajinkya Rahane, not many people can hit Dale's 10 for 6 back over the bowler's
outstanding.
head.
He's my go-to man, to be honest, because you know, all this while he's open, and we just ask him to come down at number 4 and be shifted in from an opener at number 4 and then play the knock like this speaks volumes of his character, speaks volumes of his adjustability. You know, at once he's asked to open because somebody else has to bat in the middle order, then he's pushed down to bat in the middle order because Virat Kohli has to bat at number 3, and he's adjusted to every situation superbly. He's a class act, you know. For me, he and Virat Kohli are the 2 best batsmen in the team at the moment.
But people who have sort of exceeded expectations are the bowlers.
Yeah, but it's because of 300 runs on the board. I would really want to see them with 240, 250, which they will have to do at times. That's when how they bowl. That's when how they react to the pressure, because the opposition will think differently. You know, you put any bowling attack. If South Africa had scored 300, India would have been in trouble today as well.
Going forward, I mean, one more big game against the West Indies, rest more or less minnows. I mean, in cricket, obviously no one can say anything, but you expect India to now finish on top of the pool?
Yeah, definitely. But don't underestimate the West Indies. You know, they've got the firepower. They've got people who win you games. You know, Chris Gayle hasn't fired. He's being criticized in Australia and back in the West Indies. So he will be up for something special. And they have the team who again can be hot and cold, and they have the right balance. You know, they troubled India back home when they were touring India before they left home and abandoned the series. So West Indies will be a tough competition, but India is at the top of the game.
2 final questions before I let you go, Sourav. From the 2 matches that you've seen so far, this is a changed Indian side. Do they now have it in them to actually go the distance?
Yeah, absolutely they have it in them. I said it before I saw all this, that my 4 semi-finalists would be India, New Zealand, South Africa and Australia, and I still stick to that. But I'm sure there are matured heads in the dressing room. There are experienced people in Dhoni, Ravi, and I'm sure they must be also knowing that, you know, it just takes 1 game for everything to change, like it has changed for them. You know, come quarterfinals, if they fall under the pedal of a team which is in good form, it can change for them also. So just take it 1 game at a time and then go forward.
If there's one thing that you would want to see Team India do, I mean, they've done it almost perfectly. The script is perfect.
No, I wouldn't complicate things, because it's been a perfect win. Against Pakistan was also a perfect win, and I don't want to complicate things. Don't want to create issues and questions when they're not there. For me, it's just about going back and reproducing it again. That's going to be the challenge, because last 2 games they've had no weakness.
No weakness, says Sourav Ganguly, and when he says no weakness, you sort of take it very seriously. One man who predicted India will go the distance, will beat South Africa, has happened. We will get you Sourav Ganguly right through the World Cup on headlines today. Watch this man, because what he says makes a lot of difference in world cricket.